All right, Ready to Greatness podcast. This is Mr. Fitbiz, CJ Wiggins, and Shelly Kim,
Hello. Hi.
and our special guest, Desiree Duggan.
Hello.
How you doing? All right, so let's go. Let's get into it. We talked to you before. Beautiful work. I seen the work you have done online, and I'm kind of blown away.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
need people like you. It's definitely top-notch photography you're doing. So tell us your story. How did you get into the photography? How did you get into all this?
Well, I used to do a little modeling here and there, like typical bikini modeling. I was in American Curves and stuff like that. My first ex-husband, he had a studio, and I was his photo assistant and his makeup artist. And I just watched, and I took photography in college and stuff like that because it was interesting. And then kind of the fitness was an accident because I've always been interested in fitness, and it's always been part of my life. And then I did my first fitness shoot with a fire dancer named Chris Starr, and I was just blown away. I had so much fun. I was like, wow, this is the coolest shoot I ever did in my life. I have to do more of it. And then there was one guy named Tony DaCosta in my gym. I ended up being very good friends with him. He's now got his pro card invitation. He's 64 years old, and he decided at 60, this was 4 years ago, he was going to do his first competition. And I saw him getting ready. This is before I really knew him. I was like, I got to shoot that guy. He's shredded. I really got to do that because I know that I could take my lighting and just bring out all that detail that he had. And he agreed. And then he himself was a photographer, so we kind of made each other better as we went along. And I ended up shooting him maybe 7 times. And then shooting everybody around the gym, and then it just ended up going and going.
Wow, interesting, very interesting. Question here. So, like you said, with I do a little bit of photography too. I actually have a degree in graphic design. Don't ask me why, but it was just something that I was passionate about as well, doing photography and graphics and stuff. So, talking about the lighting and the photos, how do you? The question for me, because I do photography on the side, the lighting angles. How do you get that definition to come out? What's the angle, the positioning of the lights? Is it a type of light, or is it positioning when it comes to bringing out the physique?
It's definitely the positioning and the amount of lights. I can use up to 6 lights depending. I'll take a light and put it on each side of the muscle that I want to highlight and just kick it. Because most professional lighting units have something called a modeling light, and it kind of, it'll bounce off and you'll be able to see it. It's not a flash. It's almost like continuous video lighting, and it just kind of, it'll show you what you get. It just doesn't show you everything exactly what you get because it's just like a regular light bulb. But then once the flash hits it, it just pow.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, who have you worked with that's been most memorable besides the obvious Chad Shaw?
Yeah. I kept bugging him. It took me a year of talking to him to finally get him down to Florida and shoot him. But I would like to say Tony DaCosta. But it seems that every time I did a shoot, it was like God gave me something more and more interesting to shoot every time I shot, even if I was shooting the same person over and over again. And I would have to say Tony because he was the first one, but then there's Chris Starr who had the fire, and then there is an IFBB pro. She was in the Olympia. She came in 6th. She was posing with 2 that was Juanita Bueno. She was posing with 2 prize-winning Cane Corso dogs that were beautiful silver color. So I can't even tell you who was more memorable. My one friend I shot, there was a thunderstorm rolling in, and then all of a sudden a giant rainbow came behind her. I was like, "Don't move!"
I can recall that picture out of you. Is that the one that looks like lightning in the background?
Oh, the one with the lightning, that I photoshopped.
Okay.
I was just messing with her. I was like, and because she was in the water, I was like, I had to do it.
No, that was a pretty good photo. And like, CJ said, your photos are great, and the lighting has always been something that I definitely notice out of your pictures. Definitely highlight the muscles, which is huge. And so you definitely have some talent. Do you prefer working in a gym setting or on land or out and about?
Everywhere,
Yeah.
everywhere I shoot is different, and I get a different set of circumstances and challenges. Like that one shoot with the rainbow on the beach, my lighting all of a sudden decided it was not going to function. I was like, oh yeah, I just have available light. It was cloudy and ugly, and then all of a sudden this golden sun came out. Poor girl had sensitive eyes. I was like, close your eyes, just relax your face, close your eyes. Like that, So every time I get some kind of interesting thunderstorm that I have to run away from, and then it becomes a rainbow and like a tornado or something. That is my next goal, is to get a tornado in the background, or those mammatus clouds that are like marshmallow lumpy.
Yep.
Insane. Can you imagine?
Yeah, no.
Devil's Lake is another place I need to go. With all these rock formations. I want to do a lot of stuff where it's like, fantasy muscle, like Boris Bellino art.
Yes. Solid like a rock.
Yep. More rocks, more mountains, more of Wisconsin's beautiful scenery, all the fall leaves and everything. I just have to do it.
Oh, yeah. Yep, I can give you a lot of good recommendations.
Yes, I'm going to need that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great gyms around here. Really, really great gyms. Like, I went to Ford's. I was like, I need to shoot here. I need to shoot here. And he's like, okay. I'm like, in Florida, they're like, no, you got to pay us.
You gotta have a permit or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them are okay. Some of them, like, they just want a couple dollars. Some of them are like, oh, shoot here. Go ahead. Give us some pictures. Sure. Okay.
So, you train. I know you were saying you're doing deadlifts. So, what's your training regimen?
I do Chad Shaw's style. I told him a couple months ago, I am putty. You just give me a routine and I will do it to the money. I want to look like this. And I saved a bunch of pictures that I liked on Pinterest of perfect bodies. And so I've been doing really low volume, really heavy, really intense weightlifting and cardio on opposite days. And sometimes if it's like abs or something, I do it on the same day.
Yeah.
At a different time.
Okay. Yeah, so that's interesting, because I think we all can agree that lifting intense is definitely the way to save time.
Yeah.
Get through
Big
workout.
time
Yeah, I mean,
that's the best thing about it.
Yeah, save time and go as hard as you can go.
Yeah.
That's people in the gym that's just kind of meandering around, clawing around like a cat instead of attacking like a bear.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
we're gonna
definitely see a lot of that.
yeah. So definitely that style of training, I think is more popular and reaching your goals and getting that photography, that perfect body, what you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
But I run into these people out in Las Vegas, and I'm like, is that the person in the magazine? And I'm just looking at them. I'm like, I can do that. I can so much get the way they get to, because I have people looking at me saying, oh, what do you do? Or are you this? Or you're a fighter? Or what do you do? So it's always, you're not too far away from your goal. Especially your work shows off the physique and the bodies and how people look. And it's like, when you look at these photos, it's like, wow. But it's like, you're only months of hard training and clean eating, and then you make up for the rest. The photographer brings out with the hard work that's
I've
done.
seen people shoot with like a snapshot, and I've seen even professional photographers just take a picture. It's like, no, it's not just taking a picture. It's different. the physique, and plus men have to be treated differently than women as far as lighting goes, because you don't want the woman's face to look really hard. You want to look, like nice and pretty, but have her body look ripped and shredded. So you have the whole two different situations that you have to shoot. And I've practiced on bodies that were like mine, for example. At the time, I wanted to really bring out detail myself, which there wasn't much to bring out. So if I could bring it out of me, I can bring it out of anyone.
Yeah, yeah. And that's how has I think since you've been doing photography, how has it evolved? Like what's some of the things that, okay, from like, say we talking like from I know you're probably a student of photography, so you studied a lot of old, fitness photography into now. So how has it evolved to help these people get this like glowing physique from like the Arnold and the Bruce Lee days, their photos until, the 80s until now?
Well, photographers, I'd like to say like Michael Naviu. He's one of my favorites. He really, really did a lot of work with his lighting, and I'm a big fan of his. I don't copy his style directly because he does this particular thing which gives his work his signature look, which I really like, but I won't copy it because it's not right,
Yeah.
But then there's also certain Photoshop filters and certain sharpening features which people tend to overdo. I do them very faintly. Certain software that really sharpens the picture up and really makes it pop. I call it the HD effect. Bunch of different companies make it, and it gives it that really crispy look, but some people really abuse it, and it makes people look really, I don't know, like artifacty, I guess you could say.
Maybe cartoon, maybe?
Yes, good word.
Yeah.
Good as
yeah, I guess that's how you can separate the good photographer from the novice if they're using too much of that, maybe.
Yeah, it's a fun look. It's fun to play with. When you first start playing with those filters, you can't resist doing a few shots like that. But some people just pump them out, and it's like, all right, it's killed. You gotta.
It's like an overdue.
Yeah, but
okay.
Some people use it, and I've seen a lot of other photographers. I was taught by one photographer. He's unfortunately deceased. I absolutely adored him. He was one of my best friends. His name was Brian Bartlett, and you can Google photo motion. He was incredible. He shot like a lot of bikini stuff and beautiful women and stuff, but he used that filter, but he used it really judiciously, and he taught me how to use it. And it should be used with care. And but it can augment, and it has augmented a lot of photographers' work and made it just give it that extra,
Yeah. So basically, your job is bringing the best out of people, and I definitely like to hear that, because a lot of people don't think they can be on these pictures and in these magazines, and then we run into people like you that's built to help people shine. People that's already like a diamond in the rough. You just grab it and then just polish it a little bit.
Yeah, I'm actually going to have Desiree take my pictures soon, because yeah, she, like I said, I admire her work, and of course I love to take photos, and I like to play with the camera too. And actually I'm going to be taking a photography class next Friday. But I enjoy being the model as well. So it'll be kind of fun to have Desiree, a professional, take my pictures and be able to highlight maybe some things that I don't always get in my pictures from a regular camera. So looking forward to it.
A lot of times you have this mythical lighting called bathroom mirror lighting, where you absolutely look fabulous, and no matter what the genius photographer is that's doing it, they cannot match the bathroom mirror. I don't know what it is about the bathroom mirror. It's like, look at me, ugh! And then it's like, where did it go?
True.
Oh, that's funny.
But it's true. Like, there's definitely different mirrors and different lightings that can bring out your muscles, and you walk to another mirror and you're like, oh, they look the same.
What they call it is the bad side. I had people take pictures with me today, and they was like, no, let me take the picture this way. No, this is my bad side. Let me come on the other side of you. And I'm like, it's because the light is not shining this way. I'm like,
Yeah.
I like it. Okay.
Yeah. I hate that.
I'm
It's
not
like,
getting it, but
they
okay.
gotta trust you. They
Yeah.
gotta
Yes.
they gotta like you're the one seeing through the lens, and if you make them move, it's like, no, it's not the same anymore. You gotta just trust me. You can't see what I see because you're simply not in my stance.
Yes.
Sometimes I wish I could take what I see and project it in my brain and project it onto the wall for them to see it.
Put a mirror behind you.
Yeah, but it's not the same. Um, because when the lights flash,
Yes.
sometimes like I love going up to people and showing them, here, this is what you look like, and they're like, that's me. This one girl kept saying, that's not me. That is not me. I'm like, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Well, I kind of feel the same way about my own photos too. Like sometimes you look at yourself in a photo and you're like, that's not what I look like. I look much better in a photo.
I feel the same way about myself. Or I look great in the bathroom mirror, and then I turn around and then someone takes a cell phone picture of me. I'm like, oh my God, I'm a dog. The dog is prettier.
Oh my goodness.
But you do have an eye for what you see in fitness, and so that's very appreciative. So do a good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so when are we gonna get more photos? You're doing Kim next, right? Is that soon?
Yeah, I just recently did a weight loss transformation, and I just did shots of Chad, and I don't know if I'm supposed to use the weight loss transformation pictures from that girl because it's for this particular trainer and his marketing and stuff, so I don't know if I should use it or not, if I have their permission or not. So I haven't posted anything.
When you're doing a shoot, like about how long does it take you?
Usually it's very short because I have a lot of competitors that are depleting and they're crashing, and the ones that shoot before their competition, they're like, so I have a very small window. So I tend to just get to the place, set everything up, and then just have them jump out onto the scene. And then I'll just adjust the lights around them, and then I'll move them to a different place. And it depends if they just did their competition, which is very popular to shoot the day after your competition, because you're a little fuller, you're not as dry, but you still have that conditioning. So they're a little bit more. They have more carbs in them.
Right.
I can shoot it for a couple hours. Usually it's anywhere from an hour out. Yeah. Poor people. I saw a 200-something pound man just crash like a Mack truck. I had to like put a potato in him, and I had to drag him back to my house. Here, eat chicken. You're gonna die. He was just like a robot, just like those wind-up toys, and just like
They're dead.
yeah. And he was just like, and he slumped over. I was like, oh, I think he's gonna die. I don't
So, your job is basically what we were talking about, is to make people. I think when they see these photos, they get a misconception about exercise, fitness, and training, because, like you say, you had the guy about to pass out, and we're trainers, all of us. So people, they show us these magazines and these pictures, say, "Oh, I don't want to look like that," or I do want to look like that. And then since you're the photographer and you work with these people, that is not. It's real, but it's not real, as I try to tell people.
Yeah.
Limited.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't look like that all the time. You look like that for an ephemeral few days, and it's gone, or not totally gone. It's just not as like dry. The person isn't as dry. They don't have as much. They get water under their skin eventually because they eat. And but some people stay very close. They stay within a few pounds of that, and they can achieve that very quickly, relatively quickly, within a month or two. And then they'll just shoot several times. And then some people, like in Florida, for example, when I shoot a lot, that state had so many shows that people would just compete and follow the shows around, and they'd compete for a good 6 months out of the year. So they'd stay conditioned, and they wouldn't lose their conditioning because they were just doing it so much. So they could shoot whatever they wanted.
Just learn something. So it's best to just stay in condition year round if you want to do your photos around competing time.
Yeah, and then a lot of them do it at the end of their competing time because that's when they're at the pinnacle. They can't get any better. They can't get any drier. They can't get any leaner. So, and like at like August and September, I'd be like slammed. In October, even into November, I'd be like, all right, I don't have any more time to shoot anybody.
We got to get you out here to Vegas. I know you probably work with some people out here. That's, it's a big community out here. A lot of competitors, athletes out here. So I guess I'll be looking out for your work with Kim and see, can you bring her?
Definitely. Kim's getting she's getting really, 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 really well conditioned. She has a lot of muscle and she doesn't think she has it, but I'm like, I see it when you move around. I can see these things. I see things.
Yeah. Well, I think we all are our worst critic,
Yes.
Yeah.
And like everybody else, I have my own goals too. And I can look up at these pictures that you take, for example, and say, there's my ideal body. That's what I want to look like. And in my mind, I'm aiming towards a goal and I don't see it,
Yeah.
So like everybody, just got to keep working towards that goal and, striving to be better than you were yesterday.
Yeah.
It's
a process. It definitely is. I've seen people go through a lot of things to achieve this process, and then they finally do, and you're just so happy for them.
Yeah.
Usually with getting the muscles out, it's the diet, and I'm going through the same thing because I would like to take pictures with Chad, but I have to be worthy to be in the picture.
You look great.
You're worthy. You're worthy.
Well, as far as my physique is concerned, I mean, in my heart, yes, but I mean, I want it to be a certain conditioning, and I'm a stickler like that, and I just want it to be a certain way because I have OCD, and that sort of thing.
I understand. You want to have the perfect physique in the picture with him.
Yeah, we all want a perfect physique, don't we?
Well, yeah, or at least I wanted to be able to work with it to the point where I can make it look perfect in the picture, or have certain details that would kind of contribute to the ultimate goal of the photograph.
Yeah. Well, you know what I did? This is what I did. I did this. I heard you say like you got some pictures of a physique of people physiques, right? And you said, okay, you kind of compare a little bit. You be like, okay, I want to look like that, or close to that. I was doing that a couple months ago. Then I said, you know what? I'm gonna take pictures of myself after I leave the gym, and I'm gonna keep them just for me. I'm not gonna put them on the internet, nothing. I put them in my phone, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put them on my screensaver, so I could just keep reminding myself how far like updated pictures. And then once I get to my supreme level of physiqueness, then I'm gonna put them all out and show people the transformation on myself, basically. So I won't be, looking at anybody else's physique but my physique. And when people look at my phone, they be like, hey, why do you have all these pictures of you? And
yeah. I got tons of pictures. Yeah, I totally feel you. I a lot of times will take pictures of myself. Some of them kind of nice, but I have so many that I'm just kind of holding for a while, just like you.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there has to be an after picture next to the before picture, or else you look at the before picture and you're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. But that definitely works. It definitely works. And once you get there, you're gonna be so excited.
I love looking at physiques, though. I look at everybody's physique. I have a whole collection of physiques on Pinterest. So I call it physique of the day. I want this, I want that, I want because I also know my bone structure and what I will look like. So I pick out people who have a similar bone structure but have a conditioning level which I would like to achieve. And then I take pictures of myself to see how close I am to what my goal and stuff like that, and how I can possibly use the conditioning that I have now or with little tweaks to this or that in a future picture, and then design a theme of the picture around that.
Okay. Well, you definitely have a guru on your side over there, because Chad definitely.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely got real educated, and I tell people about him and his how much knowledge I learned just off, talking to him on the show. But let him know we definitely like to have him back on. I know we all kind of busy here and we haven't been updating the show here lately, but we're back and we're going to keep going, moving, getting people like you on that's helping people achieve their fitness goals and showing the world, of people physiques and how much hard work that they put in. Okay. Sometimes people don't understand the hard work people have to do to get here.
Mm-hmm.
So you definitely are a pivotal part of their work getting shown to the world. So definitely, you have a gift. You have a gift that not too many people can do and make it look good. Like, oh wow, this could go in the magazine. I was looking at the pictures like, man, these are good pictures. These go magazines and like being magazines. I could flip a picture and like, okay, this is what I want to look like. So you have a lot of younger people that say, hey, I want to look like this person, and it's a lot on that person, but the photographer, like I said, takes that diamond and just polishes it.
And places it in the proper setting that it should be shown in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Definitely. So do you got anything you want to promote, anything you want to say, anything on your mind here on Committed to Greatness and something that you got coming up that you want to tell us about?
I really like this radio show. I really think it's a really great idea. I'm honored to be on it. So I'd love to thank you all for having me. And I have my website out there. I'm available for photo shoots, corsophoto.com. That's CORSOPHOTO.com. And I probably want to add some personal training to it eventually too. So just online type stuff. That would be fun because it'll help people get the people that are, kind of wondering what they could do to actually be in the pictures and get advice on photographic conditioning and stuff like that. I would love to help them with that.
Okay. Well, definitely, we definitely appreciate you coming on the show today. And Kim, Shelley, the final notes there.
Well, I just want to thank you, Desiree, for coming on as well. And you already know I'm a big fan of yours and Chad. And I think that you guys are very knowledgeable and make a great team. And I'm glad to be your friends.
Well, we're glad to have you as a friend.
You guys are like the powerhouse.
That's awesome. We teach each other constantly. We're constantly teaching each other things, and we want to share it with everybody else because it's just such a passion. It's so much fun, especially to help people, achieve what they want to achieve. Just a good feeling.
You both are really good at like the way that you put it out there. Everybody kind of gets it. Like you don't talk over people's heads or, easily. You just kind of put it out there. I love that.
Just on earth, like everybody else.
Right.
Well, like they said, behind every strong man, it's an even stronger woman. So,
thank you.
So, all right. Well, any last notes, you guys?
That's it.
Nope. Okay. Well, this is this week Committed to Greatness podcast. This is your host, CJ, Mr. Fitbiz Wiggins, Kim, Shelley, Desiree. Peace.